Hi there, I'm Erin and welcome to my second booktube video. In this, I just want to talk about my current TBR pile and all the books I plan to read in the winter months of January, February, March. It's pretty snowy where I live, so these books will be good when I don't feel like going outside. I have a pretty hefty pile here that I'll try to hold up for you guys. But yeah, let's just get into it, talk some books, and maybe you'll like a few. So for the first book, I'm going to be talking about the one that I'm currently reading, and that is The 7 Moons of Malia Almeida by Shehan Karunatilaka. This book is set in Colombo in 1990, and Malia Almeida, a war photographer, gambler, and closet queen, has woken up dead in what seems like a celestial visa office. He does not know who has killed him, and he has 7 moons to figure that out and to also lead his loved ones to a box of photos that will rock the country in regards to, you know, crime, who's a part of it, and who's involved in the war that's happening within the country. I'm about this far into the story and I'm really liking it. It's really interesting to think about the idea of an after or an in-between life that's still in the same world that you used to live in, so you can see real people, they just can't see you. So he's telling the story while a part of the same world that he was once in, so you get his experiences in the present day as well as, you know, his memories from the past. So I really like it and I'm excited to finish it sometime and maybe talk about it with you guys. The second book that I have is one that was recommended by another booktuber and one that I'm just obsessed with the cover design. It's beautiful, the illustration is just stunning, and the colors, I love seeing it in my apartment. This is The Woman Destroyed by Simone de Beauvoir, and it's 3 short stories about different women. They're all past their first youth and all facing unexpected crises. I'm excited to see what this one is about because the author was a philosopher, a professor, and she emerged as one of the leaders of the existential movement after World War II. So she seems like a pretty cool girl. And I'm curious to see these stories of, you know, feminism, female rage, and just what we as women go through. So that is the second book on my TBR pile. My third book is another one that was recommended, but I love the cover as well, and that is Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung, translated by Anton Her. I believe this is a Korean author. So this is a collection of short stories that blur the lines between magical realism, horror, and science fiction, which sounds just so intriguing and so cool to me. I love kind of twisted and weird stories, especially in between, you know, literary fiction, fantasy. It's just a nice one to dip my toe in a little bit. And I also love that it's translated from a different language because I'm also trying to bring that into my reading of 2023. So that is Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung. My fourth book on here is one that I wanted to read for so long now, but I know that I have to be in the right mindset to actually get through it because it's so heartbreaking, and that is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This story follows 4 college classmates as they move to New York in search of fame and fortune. While their relationships, which are tinged by addiction, success, and pride, deepen over decades, the men are held together by their friend Jude. He is scarred by a childhood just full of unspeakable trauma, and it says this story is a hymn to brotherly bonds and a masterful depiction of love in the 21st century. I'm hoping to get to this one sooner rather than later because I think it might be one that I need to read while I'm, you know, in my apartment by myself, but also have family trips to look forward to after I finish, just to be a little more lighthearted afterwards. But that is A Little Life. My fifth book is probably one that I'll read after what I'm currently reading just because I've been seeing it all over social media, and that is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I don't know what it is, but it seems like a lot of people are reading this right now, and I kind of want to be a part of the trend because I love to have read the book or to be currently reading the book while I'm also experiencing other reviews of it. All I know about this story is that it's about a professor and a group of students that are at an elite New England college, and a murder happens between this group. And it's kind of an unraveling of what happened and all of like the corruption and betrayal that's within it. It's a dark academia, and I haven't read too much in this genre, so I'm excited to pick it up and see how I feel about it. So that is A Secret History. So the sixth book on my TBR pile is one that was recommended to me by my sister, and she doesn't read very much, so when she recommends a book, you know I'm going to take that seriously. This is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I don't really know what this book is about, but I think it's like a relationship between two people. One of them is like tormented and secretive, and they try to go for a friends with benefits thing, and it doesn't exactly work out, which is always the case. Colleen Hoover is not really my favorite author. I've read It Ends With Us and Verity, and while I understand the hype and how easy she is to read, I just don't really like her writing. But I'm excited to try a third book, see how I feel about it, and just go from there. So Ugly Love is the sixth. Next on my list is a series that I need to read before the snow melts because of where this, story is set. And that is the Winter Night trilogy, starting with The Bear and the Nightingale. I feel like I've seen this series everywhere because its adventure and fantasy is just top level. Reading the back of the first book in the series, I understand that this is set at the edge of the Russian wilderness, so snow. We need snow to read this. Vasya has grown up hearing the tall tale of Frost, the blue-eyed winter demon, and her village soon gets, overtaken by evil and a curse, and she has to call upon her dangerous gifts that she has concealed to protect her family. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, this sounds like such a cool, magical fantasy adventure that would be awesome to read in the winter. So let's see if I can get to that soon. But that is The Bear and the Nightingale, the first book of the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden. So the last book on this pile for now is CloudCuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. In 2020, I read All the Light We Cannot See and fell in love with his writing and his ability to weave different storylines together at the end of the book, and I'm expecting this to be somewhat similar because there are a lot of perspectives that are within this story. Reading the top of the summary, since it's pretty long, it says, CloudCuckoo Land is a triumph of imagination and compassion, a soaring story about children on the cusp of adulthood in worlds in peril who find resilience, hope, and a book. All of the reviews that I've seen of this one are positive, 5 stars. It's been added to favorites lists. So I'm really excited to read it for myself and see where it ranks for me. But yeah, that is the last book on my TBR pile. Now we all know that the pile will change and get bigger, get smaller, but for right now, those are the books that I'm trying to read while it's still cold and snowy and wintry out. So let's see how much I can get through within these next couple of months. That's everything, you guys. I hope you're all having a good day, good night, wherever you are, and we'll talk soon. Bye!